Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I am sharing with you VRC's latest work. I know they just came out with the Formula G a couple weeks ago, but they are already out with a new car, and this one is a little interesting because it is the same car that RSS also just released a couple weeks ago, and this is the Formula Beta 2024, or the current 2024-2025 representation of a Formula 2 car here in Assetto Corsa. This one is a little bit more unique though, because VRC have actually been working with F2 winner Zach O'Sullivan, and he has been going back and forth with VRC for a little while now, it seems, and overall it seems like he is pretty happy with the state of it, and he is giving it his stamp, I guess you could say, that it is a pretty damn accurate representation of a Formula 2 car all the way down to its systems. This car, like all of VRC's latest works, uses the Extended Controls app. If you already have some bindings set up in there, they should carry over for the basic stuff, but be sure to take a look as always to see if there are any new options or things maybe you haven't bound in the past that you might want to this time to get the full experience out of this car. Let's go over some quick specs really quick before we get into the nitty-gritty. 620 brake horsepower, 570 newton meters of torque. The car weighs 710 kilograms. It is a baby Formula 1 car without the hybrid system, so you don't have to worry about kind of the complex hybrids and ERS modes and things like that. You just get to drive, which is always fun. And I have to say, this car is very, very fun to drive. The F2 cars are a little weird because, at least for me, you go into it kind of driving it like an F1 car, and you end up overdriving the car, and it's not really that fun. But once you've kind of find the limit and keep it there, these things are actually a joy to lap around the track. And I have to say, the current look of these cars, I actually really, really like. Of course, the front wing looks pretty much, identical to a modern-day F1 wing, a little simplified, of course. And then the rear wing kind of looks like the Super Formula rear wings over in Japan, which is interesting. I like the look of this car. It is very, very cool. As for the physics of the car, the first thing that I want to direct your attention to in the setup menu in game is going to be your system settings. So for the systems of the car, there are two different options for three different systems. You will have simple and realistic. This is going to be for the starter for the car, the anti-stall system, as well as the DRS system. I'm going to talk about the DRS one because I think this one is the coolest. So in simple mode, it's going to act pretty much like you're probably used to with the Assetto Corsa DRS, where once you're in the activation zone, you press the button, whatever you have bound to your wheel, and it will open up, and then as soon as you hit the brakes or whatever, the DRS will close. In realistic mode, though, you will press the button in advance of the DRS zone, and it will automatically activate as soon as you enter the zone itself. But to maintain the activation throughout the zone, you have to keep the button pressed. You have to hold it down, and when you release it or apply the brakes, the flap will close on the back, and you will be good to go. This is something very, very cool. I actually would never have known that this is how DRS worked in real life. I always kind of just assumed it was you press it when you're in the zone and you forget it, but this is how they do it in real life, apparently, which is very cool. For the anti-stall, simple mode will pretty much give you it in every single gear, so if you make the revs too low in any one of the gears, it will go in anti-stall. This is kind of better if you're a newer driver or kind of learning the ropes. In realistic mode, it'll work how it does in real life, where it's just in first gear or reverse gear. If the engine does drop too low, the RPMs, it will just stall and die, and you'll have to restart back to the pits, which is not fun to do. Definitely in in real life, of course, but even here in Assetto, so it's something you got to watch out for. And really quick, the one mode I actually myself will probably be keeping in simple just for convenience is the starter. So in simple mode, you can start and stop the engine at any time, but of course in real life, the engines are fired in the pit lane or on the grid, and they cannot be refired again unless they have the special little device and system that they use in the pits to fire it. So if you are stopped on track, you cannot refire the car. So me personally, I'll be leaving this in simple mode just for, you know, ease of use. But if you do want the full realistic experience, it's very cool that VRC have made it an option. Just like the Formula Alpha 2024, plank wear is also simulated, so the wooden board under the car, it can only, in real life per the regulations, be worn a certain bit by the car, of course, bottoming out. So you will have that simulated here. So if you're doing some racing and you have the car a little bit too low and you really wear out that bottom wooden plank, you will technically be out of the regulations and disqualified. So make sure, if you want to take it very seriously, that you don't have your suspension set too low. Besides that, there's a few different dash pages you can mess around with. The LEDs on the wheel as well for your RPMs. You can change the colors if you want to. And then VRC also gives some recommended audio settings. If you want to use them, I'll put them up on screen right now. If you don't want to, I'm sure it's not the end of the world. Either way, the car sounds fantastic, but these are what VRC say your in-game settings should be if you want the best experience. So yeah, for my final thoughts on the Formula Beta, I've really enjoyed lapping this thing around. This seems to be one of VRC's most in-depth works yet, and truthfully, it really makes me excited to see what we may get in the Formula Alpha 2025. It would be so cool if they could reach out to some F1 driver, Max Verstappen maybe, or something like that, and get his feedback on the car. But regardless, maybe that's a little bit too much of a pipe dream. But this car is absolutely fantastic. VRC have hit it out of the park as always, and I have to say, with the RSS car coming out, if you guys want, I can maybe make a little bit more of an in-depth video, but VRC's system simulation is just a league of its own right now. And if you only want one F2 car, I would say that the VRC one is the one to get, in my personal opinion. But that's all I had for you guys today. Long video, but a lot of stuff to talk about, and I really wanted to give this car justice. If you did enjoy this video, a like and a sub would mean a lot. Tell me your thoughts on the Formula Beta 2024 in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.